So my name's Christian, I'm from Swansea. I've done 13 projects with the uni, ranging from 1 month, 2 weeks, to a year. Off the top of my head, I think I can remember most of them. So I've been to Russia on 3 occasions, Belarus, and then all the rest of my projects were based in Wales then, as a camp leader. I'd been on 2 or 3 trips abroad. I lived in Iceland for 2 years, playing professional football, and then like family holidays. It wasn't a great shock like to travel abroad, but so I began volunteering in 2013 and still to this day. I went on a group project to begin with an organisation, St John's Ambulance, where I met the leader of that project. He told me a few interesting stories. I come back and I went on the leaders training, and then in the summer I decided to do a 2-week camp, just because I enjoyed my group project and I wanted to travel alone this time. I was a primary school teacher back here. It was kind of challenging myself to work with people who maybe their English wasn't really good, but to help them improve their English then. So I gained a lot of confidence from them. Obviously different cultures, it was a test for me. Some of the foods I tried weren't to my liking, but I got to experience it, and also a lot of good memories from these projects. And cooking, I was never a good cook. My mother always used to cook for me, so that was one of my challenges on the work camp, not just cooking for one person but a whole group. So, and to this day now I just cook for myself all the time. So our group project was with disabled children, and just seeing how they adapted to their disabilities, and they would willing to give 100% in everything. That then made me think, if they can do it, so can I. When I was teaching, I never experienced anyone with disabilities, so it was scary at first, but I come away from it with really good memories. The Russian winter, so when it was like -30, for me it was a shock to my system. Like I had to wear 5 layers of clothes one day. It was so cold, like I couldn't feel my feet, and also my beard, it froze up. So, but when I got used to it, I kind of adapted to the weather, and now I can't deal with the hot weather or when I go abroad. Sometimes the language barrier, so like I was lucky in most of my projects we had like people translating for us, but then when I had to go to the shops or bars on my own to order food, it was quite a struggle. And for my project, long-term project, I had to travel 13 hours on a train from Moscow to Kyiv, where I was doing my project, and because I didn't speak Russian, I couldn't order food, so I had to starve for like a whole day then. I got to see places where like most people I know just stay in Wales. They won't travel abroad. Their comfort zone is Wales or maybe England, but I wanted to see more of the world. So I got a lot of memories, gifts. One project I went on, we had like Russian hats given to us, and I think there was 4 of us volunteers, and there was only 4 hats ever made, so I'm proud to own one of them hats. And then again, like coming away from projects, I'm still cooking for myself these days and trying different recipes from places I've been. Like one of my favourite dishes at the moment is borscht, even though it's not Russian, it's Ukrainian, but I like to cook it. And I've just moved into a new house, and my housemates got to try it as well. It's a good way of travelling. You get to meet loads of different people. Every work camp I've done, the work has been really good. Just try your work, if you don't want to go straight abroad, try work camp in Wales or England, and that can be a stepping stone then into travelling abroad. I think it benefits not just yourself, the hosts, but it also benefits the community. Like one of my projects in Wales, the children we worked with had never seen a foreigner before, never got to talk to them, so I think it benefited them as well a lot, because I'm still in contact with them today, and sadly the project did end, but their experience of meeting foreign people, I think some of them are motivated now they're coming to the age where they're old enough to do a project themselves, and I think 1 or 2 of them would be interested in talking a bit more about volunteering. I'm in contact with everyone, I think. If it like Facebook, the Russian version, VK. I like to keep in contact with volunteers, because you never know when traveling abroad you might end up in their city and maybe they can host you for a night or 2. With the political thing, I went to Russia when the West was seen as like in the news as dark side, like the UK and America was also ganged up on Russia. So I did have 1 or 2 experiences where I went into a bar and they found out I was a foreigner and I was asked to leave. So, but again, like I was asked a lot of questions when I was in schools and stuff, but politics I like to keep out of it, because I like people to get to know me for myself, not through like hearing things on the news about Wales, about the UK. So I say just try a work camp, again, whether it's in Wales or abroad, because if it's anything like my experience, it changed me for the better. I don't think I would have travelled as much as I have. It also changed my work, so when I come back I decided to give up teaching and go into another profession, so it's worked out well.